Hi everyone, this is Darren with Sim Nation. Welcome back to the channel. We've reached the climax of the SNCFL season. Week 15 just delivered some of the most jaw-dropping blowouts of the year, setting the stage for a massive Week 16 conference championship weekend. Today we are recapping the wildest results from Week 15, predicting the winners for championship week, and laying out our ultimate top 16 playoff projection. Let's dive right into the madness. If you thought that the top teams were going to take it easy in Week 15, you would be dead wrong. The top five came out swinging. Let's start out west. Stewart's number 6 UCLA didn't just beat Bama's number 14 California. They completely dismantled them with an unbelievable 83-3 victory. That is a statement win to the playoff committee, largely driven by Cortez and Roberts combining for over 390 yards of total offense. Keeping an eye on Stewart and his teams, number 5 Michigan locked down their bitter rivals Ohio State with a commanding 38-10 win. Dunning had an amazing game, going 12 of 17 for 358 yards and 3 touchdowns. Meanwhile, number 3 Auburn made a mockery of the Iron Bowl. Invisible Witnesses team crushed DWK's Alabama 56-9. Person to keep an eye on in that game was Carmen from Alabama, who rushed 18 times for 111 yards and 1 touchdown. The undefeated top tier stayed perfect. Number 1 Maryland handled Rutgers 52-21, largely on the arm of Shaka Chung, who was 19 of 30 for 483 yards, 5 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Number 2 Georgia survived a push from Georgia Tech to win 38-15. Renfro had another big game, going 33 of 40 for 455 yards, 4 touchdowns, but he did throw 3 interceptions. The freshman phenom Christensen out of Georgia had 7 catches for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns in the win. Matt and his number 4 Clemson Tigers comfortably took down South Carolina 44-13, getting a big game from Knutson, who rushed 18 times for 193 yards and 1 touchdown. And we need to give a shout out to number 13 Indiana, another Bama team, who absolutely lit up the scoreboard, dropping 60 points on Purdue in a 60-10 thrashing, largely generated by the rushing of Wood, who rushed 27 times for 149 yards and 1 touchdown. Those results locked in our matchups for Week 16. It's conference championship week, folks. Win your conference and your resume speaks for itself. Lose your conference championship game, you may be on the outside looking in. Let's predict the slate. In the SEC, we see number 2 Georgia versus number 3 Auburn. Auburn is coming off a 56-point performance, but Georgia finds ways to win close games. In an absolute classic, Shark and his Georgia Bulldogs take the SEC. The Big Ten Championship pits number 1 Maryland versus number 12 Iowa. Iowa is solid, but Maryland is a buzzsaw right now. Maryland rolls to a Big Ten title. In the ACC, number 4 Clemson versus number 9 Duke. This is Stewart versus Matt. Stewart's Duke has had an incredible season, but Clemson's depth will be too much for the fourth quarter. Matt and his Clemson Tigers stay perfect in this one. In the Pac-12 championship, this is a rematch of last week's 83-3 throbbing by UCLA. A rematch of Cal might play better, but the result still stays the same. UCLA and Stewart easily take the Pac-12. In the Big 12 championship, this is a rematch of earlier in the season, number 8 Texas Tech versus Iowa State. Prediction: Texas Tech's offense is humming, especially since Trejo is healthy. The Red Raiders win the Big 12 easily. In the Mountain West, we have another rematch from last week where number 10 Colorado State is taking on number 11 TCU. This is the most evenly matched game of the week. TCU pulls a slight upset and wins this one. In the American Athletic, we see number 15 Army versus number 22 Southern Methodist. Tony's Southern Methodist has the offensive firepower to counter Army's defense. SMU wins the rematch and finds themselves in the playoffs. In the MAC, we have Tony's number 21 Eastern Michigan versus Curtis's number 25 Buffalo. Prediction is Buffalo wins this one pretty easily, takes the MAC, and we'll see if they make it into the playoffs. In the Sun Belt, we have two CPU teams going. You have Sharks' former number 17 Coastal Carolina Chanticleers versus Invisible Witnesses' former team, the Louisiana Lafayette Raging Cajuns. Coastal Carolina again takes this one easily and wins. It breaks a lot of hearts in the process around the playoffs. In Conference USA, it's Marshall versus Southern Miss. Marshall easily secures the Conference USA title. All right, assuming our Week 16 predictions hold, who is making the cut? The committee looks at the top 25, and based on the current rankings and our simulated championship results, here's your definitive top 16 playoff field. Coming in at the number 1 seed in the Big Ten Championship is the number 1 Maryland Terrapins. Shark gets the number 2 seed with his Georgia Bulldogs. Matt takes the number 3 seed with his Clemson Tigers. Stewart secures the number 4 seed with his UCLA Bruins. He also secures the number 5 seed with his Michigan Wolverines. Coming in at number 6 is Texas Tech. At number 7 is Invisible Witness and his Auburn Tigers, who grab an at-large bid. Coming in at number 8, another at-large team, is Skelter and his Louisiana Monroe Warhawks. At number 9 is TCU, who's the Mountain West champ. At number 10 is Bama and his Indiana Hoosiers, who secure an at-large bid. Great season, Bama. Another CPU team makes it in at number 11 with Colorado State, who secures an at-large bid. Coming in at number 12 is a Big Ten team, the Illinois Illini, who secure an at-large bid as well. Despite the loss to Clemson, Stewart and his Duke Blue Devils secured a number 13 seed. Coming in at number 14 is Iowa, who doesn't drop out of the top 16 and holds on to their position to be able to make the playoffs. At number 15 is Coastal Carolina, the Sun Belt champ. In securing the last and final seed and the right to play Maryland in the first round is Tony and his SMU Mustangs. So right now the matchups would look like number 1 Maryland versus number 16 Southern Methodist, number 2 Georgia versus Coastal Carolina, which is interesting because it's Sharks' former team versus his current one. Matt and his Clemson Tigers get the CPU-led number 14 Iowa Hawkeyes. Stewart unfortunately gets to play himself. Number 4 UCLA takes on number 13 Duke. Number 5 Michigan takes on the Illinois Illini in a rematch of the Big Ten. The Texas Tech Red Raiders take on Colorado State in a rematch from earlier this season. Invisible Witness and his Auburn Tigers get Bama in his Indiana Hoosiers. And rounding out the playoffs will be Skelter taking on TCU with his Louisiana Monroe Warhawks. And there it is. Maryland and Georgia headline the bracket, but teams like Indiana and Louisiana Monroe are looming as dangerous dark horses. Do you agree with my top 16? Will Auburn upset Georgia to flip the script? Let me know your predictions down in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss out on our official playoff breakdown next week. Until next time, thank you for your support and hope that the playoffs go the way that each coach wants them to. Thank you and have a great night.